From R, I will cut an arc on this. This is same. This is also same. And from this point, I'll cut an arc on this and cut an arc on this. So I've replicated the same pentagon on 45 degrees with respect to this is 45 degrees with respect to VP, and this is my T2, this is my P2, and this is my Q2. Next thing that I need to do is I need to extend. I hope this much is clear to you. Next, you'll see a little bit. It is a little bit different from this because I just had a free hand and I drew it to just make you understand. Extend the lines. Upwards from all the points. So let's now mark the points. Where is my point P? My point P will be here because P is coming from here and it is coming from this line. So this point is my point P2 dash in bold as I've done. Then T, I'll extend rays from T. I'll do the extension from this point. Now let's find the points. This is P, so I've done P. Now next is T, so T will be here. So this is my T2. S2, T2, sorry, this is T2 dash. The next point that I come is S2, and S is here. So this will be S2 dash. Q2, where is my Q? Q is here. So this is my Q2 dash, and R is finally here. So this is what? This is my R2 dash. Now I just need to complete the figure by joining them. I'll join P to Q first, then Q to R. The next is R to S. Next is T to S, and then finally this. So what we did here is first we drew this pentagon, then extended the rays upwards to have the front view and the top view. So this was the basic thing that was given in the question. Then we took this line and put it at an angle of 30 degrees with respect to HP, because this pentagonal plate was making an angle of 30 degrees with HP. So we put it here and we marked the different points. Just we took this line exactly and put it here at 30 degrees. Then later on we drew the projectors vertically downwards from here, and then horizontally sidewards from this pentagon, and then the intersecting points were marked here, and we got the top view that was there when the plane was just making an angle of 30 degrees with respect to HP. Then what I did next is I took this. Now it had to make an angle of 45 degrees. So this side was this is the side exactly opposite to the point. Now this side is making an angle of 45 degrees with VP. That's what is given in the question. So I took this side exactly and I rotated it 45 degrees and kept it here. And the rest of the points I drew it. I drew T to T, P, Q and these. Then what I did, I extended the projectors from each point upwards, and I already had the front view. So this is what I have drawn. So this is the final view that I have in my question that was required. Then next question, we'll move on to that. Okay, now we have a rhombus. You all must be knowing what is a rhombus. A rhombus is a type of parallelogram in which the sides are equal. So let's draw a rhombus now. ABCD is a rhombus of diagonal AC 110 mm and AC 110 mm, BD 70 mm. Its center A is in HP and it is A is in HP and the plane is inclined to HP such that the plane appears to be a square. So the rhombus which was actually there then appears as a square. The plane of the diagonal AC makes an angle of 20 degrees with VP. Draw the projection of the plane and find the inclination. So see, what is happening here is that I basically have a rhombus which in one condition appears to be a square, but a square in this manner. What must have happened? This, if I extend these points, I'll get a rhombus. So it must have been tilted at certain angle so that this is kind of a rhombus. So now if I tilt it, it becomes a square. So that's what must have happened, that we have to rotate it in with respect to HP that we will get, and that using that angle, when this square is making an angle, say this square is making an angle of 20 degrees with respect to VP, then when we extend the projectors upwards, then we will have what? We will have our final view that is required by the question. Let's start drawing it. And then we will know it better that how it is drawn. So let's take our tools and using the first step, that is always drawing the line XY. Here is line XY. The first thing that is given in the question is that ABCD is a rhombus of diagonal this and it is in the center. A is in HP. So the line ABCD which we will get from different points will be on line XY. So first of all, I'll draw the rhombus. First diagonal that I have is of 110 mm. So 110 mm is 11 centimeters. So I cannot draw it on paper. Again, I'll take scale of what? I'll take scale of 1:2. 1:2 is the scale. Where again I mentioned 1 is the dimension that is given in the question and 2 is what we are taking on paper. So 110 mm, so 55 mm is what the rhombus would be. I'll draw a straight line of 55 mm first. This is my bigger diagonal. Now the next is I need to mark the midpoint of it. So 5.5. So 5.5, if I take the half of it, it is 2.25. So it will come here. Sorry, 5.5. I'm sorry, 2. It will not be 2.25, but 2.5 is half of 5 and 2.75. So it will be here. Pardon me for that. I'll draw a perpendicular. I'll draw a line of which is how much? 70 mm is given to me, so it will be 35 mm. 35 mm means 1.75. So these are the two diagonals that I have. This is the bigger diagonal, which this diagonal is 55 mm, and this is 35 mm. Originally it was 110 mm and this was 70 mm and this was this. Now I'll just join the points to have the rhombus in red. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the rhombus that I have obtained. The rhombus that I have is seen by in red, which is the actual rhombus. Now I'll name it A, B, C, and this is D. Extending the projectors upwards. Again here, again from here. So I'll mark the points. A dash, C dash, and this line so this is our top view and this is our front view. Now we will make what is happening is that this rhombus is getting projected in the top view as a square. Now BD will remain same and this AC is getting decreased, so we know that this line must be making an angle with respect to the HP. We need to find that. How will we do that? So if it is a square, what will happen is that the AC will be equal to BD. Once AC and BD are equal, then what will happen is it will form a square. So I'll just do one thing. I will extend these AC beyond, and at any point I will draw a perpendicular, and that perpendicular would be of the length equal to BD. So instead of just drawing a perpendicular, I'll just extend the rays. So I've extended the rays. I just need to draw a single line. This is what? This is B, D, and at the same point 1.75 would be the center, and up till 3.5, which is equal to BD. This is what I'll draw. This is D1, this is B1, and this will be A1, and this will be C1. And if I connect them, I'll have my square, which is required by me. Now I will extend the lines upwards in this fashion. The end projectors will be projected upwards, exactly perpendicular to line XY. Now I know the length of AC. So what I'll do, I know this point is A1 dash, which is actually A. So I'll cut an arc here. So this point will become what? C1 dash. And once I join this line, this is the line which will be making an angle, and I will extend V upwards this point is B1 dash D1 dash, and if I measure the angle which I get, now I'm measuring the angle which I get. What angle am I getting? So let's find out the angle. I kept it here. What are you seeing? It's exactly 50 degrees. So we can say that when this angle is making when this line is making an angle of 50 degrees with respect to HP, we have what? We have our square. This rhombus will be a square when we have this kind of a thing. Now we have to do is we have to put this square and this diagonal AC is making an angle of 20 degrees with respect to VP. So this I'll extend it and this will be VP. So 20 degrees, I'll take this point, and now 20 degrees from this point is what I want. 20 degrees is here, so I'll extend this line. Extended. This is 20 degrees. This is point A2. Point A2. So we can mark C. This point is C2. I have this line. Now if I draw a perpendicular bisector to this, draw a perpendicular bisector and take the measurement AD. So I'll get AD